More than 100 college and university leaders have issued a joint letter condemning the Trump administration's efforts to dictate policies at their private institutions. The letter reads in part, "We speak with one voice against the unprecedented government overreach and political interference now endangering American higher education."
It's Ken Harbaugh with the MeidasTouch Network. They are trying to police thought. The Trump administration, in its attempts to exert control over private universities, has threatened to withhold billions of dollars in federal funding that supports everything from student loans to life-saving cancer research. And it has made outrageous demands over who universities can hire, who they can admit, and what they can teach. This is part of a much larger pattern across Trump's government. And one of the clearest indicators of the kind of control he wants to exert is what is happening at our nation's military academies. That is where academic integrity and Trump's desire for control comes into focus. Because as commander-in-chief, he doesn't have to threaten to withhold funds from academies. He can just order them to comply, and they have to. I spoke with a former member of the Board of Visitors at the US Naval Academy and an audience favorite here, Amy McGrath, about how damaging the Trump administration's actions have been and what it means for the rest of us. Welcome to the Ken Harbaugh Show. My guest today is Amy McGrath, a graduate of the US Naval Academy, a former F-18 pilot, and the first woman in the Marine Corps to fly a combat mission. She ran against Mitch McConnell for the US Senate in 2020. Amy, welcome back to the show.
Hey, great to be with you.
We got to talk about Annapolis. I don't know what is going on there, but as a graduate, it has got to break your heart to see what they are trying to do to that venerable institution. I think the best indicator of how crazy things have gotten is that the Naval Academy Library has now banned Maya Angelou and approved Mein Kampf. I mean, Mein Kampf should be there. We should have the right to read uncomfortable things.
Yeah.
But banning Maya Angelou because it is, I don't know, what was the excuse? It's divisive?
Yeah, I mean, it's part of their DEI, anti-woke, whatever you want to call it, witch hunt push that just is stupid.
Yeah.
It's just dumb. I mean, look, the headlines are the headlines and they're bad, right? The headline from the New York Times, and it's real. I mean, banning books is stupid. And it's an insult to anybody who's educated. Like, we can't figure out, we can't make judgments on our own. We need Pete Hegseth to come in and tell us what we can and can't read, or what, when we train and educate our future military officers, it's stupid. Okay. So that's just number one. That said, the Naval Academy and West Point and the Air Force Academy are and have been for a long time America's number one, number two, number three public universities.
Yeah.
They are very, very good at what they do. The Naval Academy in particular has 50% of the faculty are civilian. They've been there a long time. They are very good, very dedicated people. And they've trained and educated Navy and Marine Corps officers for decades. And so this business of this new administration coming in and somehow saying, oh, the academies are in bad shape and they're woke and we're going to go in and get rid of the clubs, the African American clubs or the Hispanic American clubs, and we're going to get rid of books, is just stupid. It's just dumb. And if you look at the makeup of the Board of Visitors, for example, the Board of Visitors under Joe Biden consisted of former 4-star general graduate, former 4-star admiral graduate, truly successful Navy and Marine Corps officers, and also successful academics on the board.
And Amy McGrath,
former Navy captain. Well, yeah, I mean, but I wasn't even close to what the other board members were in terms of being distinguished and caring about the institution, understanding the institution and caring about it. And now it's filled with, Ronnie Jackson. And, guys like that, the guy who brought the classified documents to Mar-a-Lago for Trump, he's on the board now. Like, this is their team. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks for the academies because they're having to wade through this right now. And the leadership, I'm sure, is trying to, keep the institution professional and excellent, which it has been throughout this madness.
There's not enough men like me who do whatever they want.
Are you sick of it yet?
Those people need to be, when we take power, they need to be given the death penalty.
The anger.
I live like a capitalist every single day, Shank. I live as a capitalist.
The hate.
And we have a system of checks and balances. That's a good one. That's really funny. We do?
The idea that to be a man, you have to be a bully.
Fuck you!
We should be better than this.
Females don't have independent thought. They don't come up with anything.
Our kids deserve better than this.
It's like women want equal rights when it's convenient, but then they still want the door open for them.
So help us change it. Subscribe to Valor Media Network, where you can find shows on sports, men's health, and patriotism without the resentment and division.
True strength is about discipline, resilience, and service.
If you've wondered where all the positive role models are, especially for young men, check out Navy SEAL Dan Barkoff and Commander Bobby Jones as they share stories of service and sacrifice.
Being good at being a man is about what you do for others and not what you do for yourself.
Listen to Jason Kander and co-hosts Ravi Gupta and Adisu Demisi give you the inside track on the politics of sports.
I just want to take back what I said about the Bills. No, because in all honesty, your team seems to have gotten the vaccination thing right. Okay. My team seems to be struggling with it.
These shows and many more from Valor Media Network prove that you don't have to be an asshole to connect with young men today. Subscribe to Valor Media Network today. It is such an infantilizing of the, what's the academy class called? It's not the Corps Cadets. That's what we had at the Citadel.
Brigade.
The Brigade.
Brigade of Midshipmen.
An infantilizing of the brigade. And it tells you everything you need to know about what Pete Hegseth thinks of those who are about to assume the leadership of the Navy, who are going to become the next generation of ensigns and ultimately the next generation of admirals that they cannot handle. Maya Angelou. I mean, what must morale be like right now within the brigade?
I mean, I think they're trying to wade through it. They're trying to get through this time without having more spotlight put on the institution, because it does do great work. And look, I mean, if you take away a certain percentage of books at the academy, that sucks. But the reality is they're still going to be working very hard to become, excellent Navy and Marine Corps leaders as much as they can. So I think right now, they're just trying to push through this and not get in the headlines of the New York Times. Unfortunately, Ken, this is a culture war that Pete Hegseth and his crazy minions, many of whom are, followers who are unfortunately graduates of the institution, want. Yeah. They want to bring this upon the academies. And I think it's sad.
They also seem to act as if they're winning, or they think they're winning this culture war, which suggests to me, I mean, this is a truism from like Sun Tzu and the Art of War. Commanders fail when they don't know the truth. How insulated must they be to think they are winning this argument with the American public?
Well, I don't know if they're winning the argument with the American public. I think that much of the American public thinks it's bullshit. I think many people at the academies think it's bullshit. Again, they have to follow orders and they have to march smartly, but they're smarter, and so we just got to get through this time. But it's just stupid. It's stupidity right now.
That was part 1 of my interview with Amy McGrath. Check out part 2 later this week, where we discuss the risks that people in uniform have to take in pushing back against the moral compromises being demanded of them by the Trump administration.
New Meidas merch drop! Check out the latest pro-democracy sticker packs, t-shirts, hats, sweatshirts, and more, all at store.MeidasTouch.com.